What do you actually know about Sweden? IKEA? The meatballs? Maybe ABBA? Well, it turns out Stockholm is the third most trending international travel destination this summer, and before this trip, we wouldn't have been able to tell you why. Stockholm wasn't even on our radar, but there were great flight deals here, so we booked it and decided to kick off our 7-part Europe series here. Hopefully that wasn't a mistake.
This week we're taking you with us to explore the best of Stockholm, Sweden, from the medieval streets of Gamla and some of the most incredible food we ever had in Europe.
You're gonna beat this, it's delicious.
To a 400-year-old warship, a Viking dining experience, and a subway system that doubles as the longest art gallery in the world. And speaking of which, looks like a ride is here. We arrived at Stockholm. It's rainy, but you guys know us, that never stopped us before.
We definitely dressed prepared for it, and we decided to embrace this. It's gonna be nice and cozy. We got a mix of indoor and outdoor activities. Starting in Gamla, which is the historic center, everything Stockholm started here, and of course we have to start in the main plaza, which is just stunning.
Let's start discovering Stockholm.
First thing you need to know about Gamla is that it's its own island. This country has a lot of islands, and we'll get to that, but what makes this one special is it's where the city began when it was founded in 1252. The narrow streets, the uneven cobblestones, the colorful buildings pressed together, this is one of the best preserved medieval city centers in Europe. It's hard to believe the street grid has been largely unchanged since the Middle Ages. Even though it's raining, this is such a charming area to walk through. Just so cozy. Actually, the rain adds some extra vibes to it.
When you walk these streets, you start to think about the merchants who walked them during the Middle Ages. And then you turn a corner and find this.
Are you sure? Oh my god.
This is Mårten Trotzigs. Officially, it's the most narrow street in Stockholm at 90 centimeters at its saddest point.
Wow, this is crazy.
I know I have a lot of layers and I look big, but I'm not as big. Now look at this. Wow.
That's crazy. This is just comically small, and I just keep thinking of all the streets in the US that are massively wide. This could never work there.
Eventually, our wandering led us here, the Royal Palace, which has 1,430 rooms and is the largest palace in the world still used as the working royal residence. For context, Buckingham Palace has 775 rooms. This one has nearly double that. And what makes it interesting is that the king who lives here has no political power whatsoever. The 1974 constitution removed it entirely, so the Swedish monarch today is purely ceremonial, and his most significant official duty is opening parliament once a year. 1,430 rooms and one job a year. Maybe we pick up the wrong career.
Entry to be over here, 220 crowns each person. And it has a lot of rooms, I must say.
You know, it's crazy how they didn't run out of concepts here. Each room is so different, and this place reminds me a ton of the Royal Palace in Madrid that we saw. Very similar.
True.
Now that we spent the morning in medieval Stockholm, it's time for my favorite part of visiting any new country, eating. And of course, we're doing meatballs. Sweden has a whole category of food called husmanskost, which translates roughly to food of the house. These are simple, unpretentious dishes, and Under Kastanjen, tucked into a 19th century courtyard in Gamla, does them just like you'd get at your Swedish grandma's house. This has been the meal I've been most excited for, the reason I wanted to come. I love me some meatballs, gravy, mashed potatoes, and some of these guys. This is nothing like what you're gonna find in IKEA, although they did make it popular, and that's what made a lot of people around the world know about Swedish meatballs. The ones you'll find here are made with a lot more love and a lot more spices.
You're gonna beat this, it's delicious. And don't forget about the lingonberries. That's the key of this plate. It blows my mind that this country has more than 267,000 islands. What? So I'm not surprised. Boats and ferries, they are part of the public transportation between islands. We're going that way because in that island, there's something we really need to see.
The metro and the ferry both run on the same tap-to-pay system. You tap once whenever you're bored, and then you get unlimited rides in any public transportation for the next 75 minutes. It's actually one of the most straightforward transit systems we use in Europe.
Stockholm is built across 14 islands, and being out here, it gives you a completely different sense of the city than walking through it.
We're heading to the Vasa Museum. And somewhere around here is actually where the story begins, because it was in this harbor in 1628 that Sweden launched what was supposed to be the most powerful warship ever built.
The Vasa had 64 bronze cannons, nearly 500 carved sculptures decorating the hull, and was commissioned by King Gustav II as a symbol of Swedish military dominance.
Mid-construction, the king heard that Denmark was building a bigger ship, so he ordered the Vasa to be even bigger with a second gun deck. No Swedish shipbuilder had ever attempted this before.
Before the launch, the builders actually ran a stability test where 30 sailors ran back and forth across the upper deck. The ship started tilting so badly they had to stop the test early, but they launched it anyway, because nobody wanted to be the one to tell the king he couldn't.
And then, about 1,300 meters into the maiden voyage, it sank.
We knew the ship is going to be big, but we didn't have an idea it's going to be this big. Oh.
I mean, this was underwater for 333 years, and 95% of it is still intact. That's insane.
The reason it still looks the way it does is because during those hundreds of years underwater, it was preserved by the cold, low salinity water of the Baltic Sea. And today, it's Sweden's most visited museum. I mean, you see why, right?
I think my favorite part is the back of the ship, because you have carved wood and you can see how beautiful the details are. So beautiful, so amazing.
One of the best things about the island of Djurgården, which is where this museum is located, is that you can knock out several museums in one day without needing to go far. The ABBA Museum is a 5-minute walk from the Vasa, and of course we have to see it.
After all, Sweden is the third largest music exporter in the world, after the US and the UK. For a country of 10 million people, that is very hard to believe.
Spotify came from here. Avicii came from here. Max Martin, the producer behind more Billboard #1s than anyone in history except Lennon and McCartney, came from here. And a lot of people would argue it all started with ABBA.
Tickets for the ABBA Museum are around 250 Swedish krona.
Inside you get to see their costumes up close, a recreation of their original recording studio, and there's a booth where you can actually sing to the songs.
And there's even the hologram stage where you can dance alongside the band.
I mean, this museum is awesome. It's so interactive, fun. You can't come in here and leave in a bad mood, that's for sure. And it's just so impressive to me how many musicians, producers, songwriters come from Sweden. And the reason is there's a huge free music program here. And as a result, we get this awesome music. Being here was so fun, and I really wish my mom was here. She introduced me to ABBA. We used to listen to them all the time in the car on the way to school, and she took me to Mamma Mia when it was a Broadway show in Vegas in like 2008 for my graduation gift. It was really nice to be here.
I think it's a very interactive and fun museum, especially if you put that museum between more serious museum, let's say like that. And look, like over there, the line is because they let people go inside at 2, 2:30, 3, 3:30. So buy your tickets in advance. And finally, I learned that I know more songs that I thought from ABBA.
The rain has come down and we're excited about that because that means we don't need an umbrella and our hands are free for important things like identifying birds, which, for the record, really is like a dull version of Pokemon Go.
Eventually our strolling leads us across another island and to Skeppsholmsbron, the first iron bridge constructed in Sweden.
And in the middle, there's a big, big crown.
Yeah, and I think we could both fit.
And also you have an amazing view of the city.
It's dinner time and we had big plans on a market we wanted to show you, but to our surprise it had closed down early for Holy Week. Our backup plan was also closed, which is how we ended up at Tokyo Ramen. We know, not Swedish food by any means, but we had eaten here the night before, we'd been talking about how great it was all day, and when you're cold and starving, something about ramen just really heals you.
Now, let's talk about where to stay, because this is one of the questions we get the most, and Stockholm can get expensive fast if you're not careful.
We stayed at the Best Western and Hotel, who has partnered with us for this video. It's right in the heart of the city and it basically checked every box we needed. The location is the real sell here. You're steps from the metro and the central station, so getting anywhere in the city from here is super easy.
The rooms are modern and comfortable with plenty of pillows, as you can see us attempt to demonstrate it over here. Yup, this is definitely how we sleep.
And the blackout curtains that are electronic, nice touch. And walking around the property, you feel so swanky. I mean, this lobby is gorgeous. Having an on-site restaurant adds a lot of value, especially if you come in from a long flight and want to grab something quick. And there's breakfast.
And that breakfast is not a small thing. It's a full buffet included with your stay, which in this city, where eating out adds up quickly, is something we really appreciate.
If you want to book this hotel, we're gonna leave a QR code and also the link in the description, so they know Tourist to Local sent you. Snowing! I mean, it's beautiful to see. Second day in Stockholm, let's go for it.
And strangely enough, this is okay, because for the next 2 hours, we are riding the metro. Yes, we're riding the metro for 2 hours straight. You'll see why.
So Stockholm has 100 metro stations, and 94 of them has been decorated with original art since 1957. It stretches 105 kilometers across the city of 2 million people. Paris has 8 times the population and only double the metro length, which goes to show you how seriously Stockholm takes their public transport accessibility.
We booked a guided tour, which is how we met Melly. Originally from Mexico, married to a Swedish man, and has lived in Stockholm for 10 years. And the thing that told us everything we needed to know about her relationship with the city was the fact she owns a t-shirt with a map of the metro line on it. She loves the metro.
We started at Kunstgarten, and the first thing Mal explained is that each station reflects what's happening above it.
We have a piano because the music school is over us. One important music school.
We were amazed at how each station is so different. Like at Radhuset, the art shows forgotten objects being pressed down through layers of pink earth. At T-Centralen, the busiest interchange in the system, they went with calm blue cave paintings to promote a calm experience in an otherwise crazy station. Then there's Solna Centrum, with red ceilings, green forest painted across the walls, and embedded throughout are messages about deforestation, social inequality, and industrial decline.
And at Stadion, written on the wall is the world record of the 100-meter dash set at the 1912 Stockholm Olympics. There are just certain things that you don't notice without a guide.
If any Swedish people are watching, I want to know, do you guys actually notice how beautiful the metro is every time you use it, or is it kind of all blurred together now? Because this is really freaking cool.
A few other things worth knowing, the metro also functions as a bomb shelter because Sweden, as a country, has always maintained a respectful awareness of Russia, and metro drivers are only permitted to work 3 years at a time as a way of protecting their eyesight from the tunnel lights.
Which does mean you occasionally get a driver who is still figuring out the brakes.
I love this kind of tours because then you notice a couple of things that whenever you're not putting a lot of attention, you don't notice. And now I have a lot of random facts to tell my family and friends back home.
This only took a few hours of our morning, and we found a lot of cool stations we wouldn't have passed through on our own. We'll leave the link to this tour down in the description if you're interested in booking it yourself.
Entonces, tú has vivido en muchos lugares en el mundo, ¿y qué crees que esta ciudad hace mejor que otros, que las otras ciudades pueden aprender?
La calidad de vida accesible. Básicamente es una ciudad muy pensada para caminar, por ejemplo. Es una ciudad con muchos espacios. Aquí una persona debe tener a menos de 300 metros un área verde, por ejemplo, por regla municipal. Es una ciudad amable, con gente amable. Solamente con que salgas a caminar, ves cultura, ves naturaleza, ves arte, y no necesitas mucho más.
And I'll ask this in English because I don't know how to say it in Spanish, but like, is there something you think tourists miss a lot of times when they're here?
Maybe only the food.
The food.
Sweden is really cosmopolitan. They love innovations. The Swedish, the Viking from the Viking time, they were an explorer. They were not conquering, they were exploring, for example, all the pepper, the curry, all of these things.
Yeah. So it's always been a city of appreciating different cultures, then it sounds like, and even still today with so many immigrants coming here, right? We notice that.
And I'm gonna tell you something, every Friday is the Taco Friday. Taco Fredag. Because they eat tacos.
No.
Yes, you should go you should go to a supermarket and you can see tortillas and what they think is a taco.
Okay, I was gonna say, I'm doubtful.
Well, I'm glad to know that the tacos have made it to Sweden. I think I will sit that one out. But what Mali said about Sweden being an international country, that stuck with me.
And it shows up in the numbers. About 1 in 5 people living in Sweden today was born in another country, which is exactly why we ended up here for lunch. Hötorgshallen is one of Stockholm's oldest covered markets, sitting right in the heart of the city. There's 2 floors of stalls selling everything from Swedish staples to cuisine from across the Middle East, Asia, and Latin America.
But we came specifically for one thing. Down the escalator, past the cheese counter to a little place called Kajsas Fisk that has been in this market since 1984. The menu has barely changed in 4 years, and the one thing everyone orders is the fisk sopa, the fish soup.
The line was crazy, but this is delicious. They do not skimp out on the seafood. I mean, just chunks and chunks. Oh. It's nice and creamy and warm. We're rubbing elbows with locals and tourists here. And I personally have a little bit of survivor's guilt right now because we got the last bowl and there's a lot of unhappy faces here.
I have to say, I was scared whenever I saw the line, but it goes fast and it's worth the hype, believe me. Fish soup, you maybe at home you don't think it's like a big deal, but this one, it tastes so good. And also, it has refill, so you can go over there and they will give you again free bread and also free salad. This is the place. We learned that Saturday is a day of the cow, and we take very seriously that.
This is actually a real thing. In the 1950s, the Swedish government found that eating candy every day was destroying people's teeth. So instead of banning it, they did the most Swedish thing possible. They designated Saturday as the one day you're allowed to go all in.
Taco Friday and Sweet Saturday, I think they're into something with this.
Martina's been loving the licorice here. It's not for me, not a fan.
Stockholm has close to 100 museums, and when the rain came back, we decided to use this as an excuse to visit one more. The Swedish ABBA Museum covers about 1,000 years of Swedish military history, and the figures inside are lifelike enough to make you do a double take the first time you turn a corner.
I know, guys, it's ridiculous, right? The game was awful.
But honestly, our favorite part had nothing to do with the history.
Ready to go. Not every museum has dress up. This was a factor in why we came here.
If you're in Stockholm on a rainy day and need to go somewhere, the ABBA Museum is a solid option. Now, our last spot, and we've been saving this one.
There are nice dinners, there are memorable dinners, and there's whatever this was.
This is Juliana from Cancel, California, and Martin from Mexico, so I believe they cancel each other out. Let's give them a warm welcome.
Aifur Krog is a Viking tavern in a cellar in Gamla that's been open since 1999. And from the moment you walk in, they commit to the bit completely.
Probably here to honor their brothers and sisters in Valhalla. They were supposed to be 4, but only 3 can make it. You know what they say, the sea can be a cruel mistress. So let's also honor their friend in here.
One of the things that is more important over here, of course, Vikings. So they have their own mead or ale. And also they have a non-alcoholic version. If you're ever wondering how does it taste, you know, what the real Vikings drink. So even that, they have a torch, they have a couple of swords, they have a couple of helmets, I heard. So I think they're getting very into this concept, and everybody's enjoying it, especially the kids. And we're kids inside, so we're enjoying it as well.
Still trying to figure out how to use this fork. It's not as easy as it looks. And this is actually really delicious. It's not just a fun place, but the food's amazing.
Reservations are strongly recommended, especially on weekends. Believe me, you won't be able to just walk into this place. And it's highly recommended to get a reservation after 6:30, whenever the music and the entertainment starts.
Stockholm actually surprises with how many fun and unique things there were to do, and if this was Stockholm in the rain, we keep thinking about what this city must feel like in summer. We'll have to come back to experience that.
But next week, we're heading to Copenhagen. You need to subscribe so you don't miss it. And we'll see you there. So long, travel well, and make the world your neighborhood.